Welcome everyone to our very first town hall Meet the Candidates. I'm so excited for everyone to be able to get to know the candidates this year and have us, ask a few questions and see, get to know them and better make a vote, make our votes this year. So to give you a rundown of what this format's going to be like. First, I want to introduce our 2020 President-elect, 2021 President, Cassandra Bell Warren. Cassandra, give a wave.
Hey, how's everybody doing?
So we're going to introduce our candidates, have a Q&A, and then if we have time towards the end, we're going to have some question and answers from the audience. So attendees, if you have a question and you want to put it in the Q&A or the chat, we'll monitor that. But we do have some good questions, and depending on our time will depend on whether or not we get to field those questions. So first up, Katie is going to show our slate videos. What?
Sorry, guys.
Okay. First up, we have Thomas Bird with Bird Realty Services and Nancy Cunningham from Coldwell Banker Collins Maury for our 2021 Director, 2022 Vice President. '21 and 2022 Realtor Director, we have Scott Bettis with Crye-Leke and Tia Jennings from Keller Williams. Next up, we have Ladora Cooper with Prime Realty and Investments and Pablo Pereira from 901 Realtors for 2021-2022 Realtor Director. 2021 Realtor Associate Director, we have Sharon Brown with Crye-Leke and Amy Woods from Crye-Leke. Next up, we have 2021-2022 Realtor Associate Director Leah Mooney, Keller Williams, and Rodney Tate from Assured Real Estate Services. Last but not least, 2021-2022 Commercial Director Appointee, we have Bill Caller from Crye-Leke Commercial. Our returning Board of Directors for 2021. We have our 2021 President, Cassandra Bell Warren from For Success Realty. 2021 Vice President, Lewis Marshall from Crye-Leke. 2020-2021 Commercial Director, Jason Polley from Stonecrest. 2020-2021 Realtor Director, MARLA Pennington, Coldwell Banker Collins Maury. 2020-2021 Realtor Director, Carmen Prince with Crye-Leke. All right, and so we have some Realtor videos each of the candidates put together.
Oh, you can't hear it.
I'm sure Katie's working on this.
I agree with everything you're saying, Bill.
You guys can't hear that?
No.
No.
Yeah.
Maybe it's better that I am muted.
Okay. If anyone can help me troubleshoot this, it'd be great. Kate, are you out there?
Is there a, when you share a screen, can you share the audio as well? I think I've had an issue with that. Kate has her hand raised.
Let's see.
It says, try it now that you're unmuted.
Okay.
You can hear that.
Okay. Sorry, guys. Let me start over, Bill. Goodness gracious. Okay.
Hi, this is Bill Caller, Vice President, Broker, and Auctioneer with Crye-Leke Commercial. And I'm honored to be considered as the Commercial Representative 2021 MAAR Board. I entered the commercial real estate business in Florida in 2005 before relocating back to the Memphis area and ultimately joining Crye-Leke Commercial in 2010. In 2014, I earned the CCIM designation, and I've been actively involved with the MAAR Commercial Council Board of Directors, as well as serving on various committees throughout the year. I'm also a life member of the Pinnacle Producers Award and also a member of the Crye-Leke Circle of Excellence. So thank you very much for your time, and I look forward to serving. Hello, my name is Thomas Bird, and I'm running for the office of Vice President of Water. As a 22-year realtor, I have seen the highs and lows of our industry, and I feel that my experience will only be an asset to our association as we move through these trying times. I am a native Memphian, graduate of the University of Memphis. I am very familiar with our city, its people, and our realtor association. I am a former Navy petty officer, and I have a master's in management. I have a strong foundation of discipline and working with others. I served on the board as board director in 2014 and 15. I was selected behind MLS and decided on the MAAR renovation that we're currently enjoying. I am a past president of Memphis Realty. I am a broker of Bird Realty Services, management of both sales firm. I teach English,
Katie, I think we should try to maybe let them each do their elevator speech because we can't hear them at all.
Okay.
Okay, so we're going to try this again. We're going to go through the same order and get everyone to, give a quick blurb about yourself like we did for the past presidents panel, and try to go from there so that everyone can get to know you a little better. Sorry for the technical difficulties. We're just going to have to adjust as we go. So, Bill Caller, do you want to go first?
Sure, I can. I'll try to remember my elevator speech from that video, but I'm Bill Keller, Vice President, CCIM Broker with Crye-Leke Commercial, and I'm honored to have the opportunity to represent the Commercial Council on the Board of Directors. I entered the commercial real estate market in 2005 in Florida and moved back to the Memphis market in 2006 and became an auctioneer and joined Crye-Leke Commercial in 2010, where I am the principal auctioneer for their auctioneer division as well as a commercial broker, and also obtained my broker's license in 2008. Got my CCIM designation in 2014. I was the CCIM Memphis Metro President in 2019, and I've served on various committees at MAAR over the years. So I'm looking forward to serving. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Thomas Bird, Bird Realty Services.
Good morning. My name is Thomas Bird. I'm currently the owner broker of Bird Realty Services. I've been a realtor for going on 22 years. I have served on the board previously, 2014, 2015. I've served on many committees. I'm past president of the National Association of Real Estate Brokers, as well as the regional vice president of Region 7. I love serving. I'm a native Memphian. I'm a graduate of University of Memphis and Whitehaven High School, as well as just love this industry, and I love serving my fellow realtors.
Thanks, Thomas. Nancy Cunningham, Coldwell Banker Collins Maury. You're muted.
Yeah, you're unmuting us.
Sorry.
My first career was as a legislative consultant in the California legislature. My real estate career began in 2007. From the day one, I was committed to making my career long-term. Despite the fact I started my career in the beginning of a recession, I quickly became the company's Rookie of the Year, a top producer, and a life member of the Multi-Million-Dollar Club. Part of my commitment from the very beginning was to be an active member of MAAR. I've served as chair of both the MLS committee and the grievance committee, and as a member of multiple task forces. As a member of the board of directors as a Realtor Associate in 2017 and 2018, I learned firsthand what an amazing job the board does, maintaining the integrity of our association and meeting the needs of our members. I believe it's my time to pay it forward and help those who've been carrying the burden of leading our association for so many years. And I look forward to taking on a leadership role as the executive vice president. Thank you.
Thanks, Nancy. Next up, we have our 2021-2022 Realtor Director positions. Scott Bettis, Crye-Leke.
Hello, I'm Scott Bettis with Crye-Leke. I have been a full-time realtor since 2005. I've been involved with the board ever since I got started in real estate, with the old education committee, with being a course monitor. I've served on the Benevolent Fund fundraising, the Benevolent Fund Board of Directors, Multi-Million-Dollar Club, Board of Governors. I served on the Education Foundation as both treasurer and president. And I'm currently the chairman of the Diversity and Inclusion Committee. And I really wanted to be involved in the board this year because I feel like we're on the cusp of a lot of change in our country and our industry. And I really want to be involved in helping manage that change. And that's why I'm here. And so probably not supposed to say, but I sure would appreciate your vote. Thanks.
Thanks, Scott. Next up, we have Tia Jennings with Keller Williams. You're muted, Tia, I'm sorry.
Hi, I'm Tia Jennings. I've been a licensed realtor for 7 years. I joined the board in 2013. I have been involved in the education committee. I'm an alum of Leadership MAAR class of 2018. I've served on the Fair and Affordable Housing Committee. My designations include GRI, ABR, SRS. I have gotten the Commitment to Excellence endorsement, and amongst other things. I'll stop now. But my main reason for accepting the nomination is, you know, as you see, I've been in the business for a short time, and I just want to give back to an association that has given so much to me as an agent. I also want to help, you know, carry the torch for the association and the members that we represent, and help our board support our clients and the realtors. And I look forward to serving.
Thanks, Tia. Okay, next up, we have Ladora Cooper with Prime Realty and Investments.
Hey, good morning.
Hey.
Good morning, everybody. Again, I'm Ladora Cooper, managing broker owner of Prime Realty and Investments. Been in real estate for 20 years. I'm MAAR member, proud MAAR member for 20 years now. Served on the Fair and Affordable Housing Committee, professional development, and I currently co-chair community development. So I'm excited to be here. This is my third run. I'm looking forward to it. I'm still amped about the possibility of serving as director. I'm also immediate past president of the Women's Council for NAREP Memphis. So just really want to just bring my passion for real estate and affordable housing over to the board and just share and help to grow, because I believe we have a strong member association, and I'd like to build upon that foundation and want to thank all the great leaders that have gone before us. And I just believe that now is a great time, and I want to be here.
Thanks, Ladora. Pablo Pereira, 901 Realtors.
Again, thank you for the opportunity. I think what I'm going to say is in no way incompatible with all the people who have said before me. I didn't remember what our theme was, but I think maybe our theme should be "The Future is Bright," because it's really a great honor to be with you, the people we're doing. I am very honored to accept the nomination. I have the opportunity to serve in the Governmental Affairs Committee, which has been a wonderful experience. And I have seen firsthand the great impact realtors have as we promote homeownership, equality, and economic development. And I would love to continue right now to echo what has been said before me, that there's a lot of changes happening right now. And one of those changes that we have as realtors been on the forefront is some of our local governments want to implement very specific, I'm not going to say rent control, but it's kind of like the ushering of rent control with rental registrations that will impose tremendous burden on renters. And you and I very well know that if you're a small landlord, meaning you own a few properties, anything that comes to you as an expense ends up going to your tenant. And so I believe that's a unburdened need that we're going to have for our population. And it's not the right way we want to go for home ownership. My name is Pablo. Again, I am the principal and owner broker of 91 Realtors, and we'd love to continue the great momentum we have done in our governmental affairs. Thank you for your time.
Thanks, Pablo. Okay, our 2021 Realtor Associate Director position, we have Sharon Brown with Crye-Leke. Sorry, Sharon, you're muted. There's going to probably be some more of that through this whole thing. Can
you hear me now? Okay, great. Again, my name is Sharon Brown. I'm with Crye-Leke Realtors. I've been a full-time realtor with Crye-Leke since 2012. I have also served on various committees at MAAR. I've enjoyed serving as an ambassador, a member of RPAC, Leadership MAAR, as well as, actually, I'm also a recent graduate of Leadership MAAR. I didn't expect to put into action what I learned in Leadership MAAR so soon, but nevertheless, I'm ready to serve you. I was born and raised in Memphis. As a military wife, there's no place like home. My background includes various positions in hotel management and mall management, accounting, and mortgage lending. In a nutshell, I just want to serve. I want to be the boots on the ground that go out there and fight for our industry and serve our members. Again, Sharon Brown, Crye-Leke Realtors.
Thanks, Sharon. Amy Woods, Crye-Leke.
Good morning, everyone. This is Amy Woods with Crye-Leke Realtors, Vice President with Crye-Leke. I've been a member of MAAR since 2007. Like Nancy said, we both started in the recession, and it was difficult back then, and we've seen the changes in the market, which have been great. The thing that I am most interested in, and what I think is the most important thing that our board does for the membership, is that we protect the membership as a whole. We look at those things that come up, whether it's legislation or, something like Zillow trying to, come into our industry and just do away with all realtors. So that's what I'm most passionate about as far as serving. For the past 4 years, I've served on the RPAC committee, and I'm your current co-chair of the committee. And I think for anyone who's gone to Day on the Hill, you see all of the legislation that comes up and how important it is. So it really is an honor to serve. I was surprised by the nomination, but I hope to serve you, and I do ask for your vote. Thank you.
Thanks, Amy. And next up, we have our Realtor Associate Director for 2021-2022, Leah Mooney with Keller Williams.
Hey, good morning. My name is Leah Mooney, and I'm a realtor with Keller Williams. I'm a lifelong Memphian, and I have been in real estate just under 5 years. I have served on RPAC and the MMDC Board of Governors, and I am honored and humbled by the nomination. I have not been in the business as long as a lot of the other candidates. However, I am a fast learner and would love to just serve the board and get to know all the other realtors that work really hard and make your voices heard, not only at the state level, local level, state level, and the national level. I appreciate your consideration.
Thanks, Leah. And last but not least, we have Rodney Tate with Assured Real Estate Services.
Thank you, Madam President. Good morning, everyone. My name is Rodney Real Estate Tate, and I am very, very excited and humbled by the nomination to be Realtor Associate Director for MAAR. I've been licensed since 2016. Actually, August 9th was my 4th complete year in the business. That, however, does not make me unqualified for this position by any means. I've served on 5 committees in the 4 years that I've been in the business. I've served on 2 boards, but for consecutive years with Women's Council of Realtors and with the National Association of Real Estate Brokers Memphis chapter. Currently the chair of Fair and Affordable Housing Committee, also the Secretary Treasurer for MAAR Education Foundation. So although short time in the industry, a laundry list of a service that I've already committed to, and I look forward to committing even further at, I believe, one of the highest levels here as a MAAR director. So I would appreciate your vote. Thank you, guys.
Thanks, Rodney. And congratulations again to all the candidates. And I will say, I apologize for the technical difficulties at the beginning, but the truth of the matter is that one of the characteristics of being a good leader is being able to adjust to change. And so rolling with the punches. So bravo, all of you did smashing. So congratulations, and let's go on to our Q&A. Like I said at the beginning, I'm going to call on one of you to answer the first question, and then y'all can all jump in. So our first question is, who do you find inspiring or empowering as a leader? Bill, we started with you, so why don't we start with you? Who do you find inspiring and empowering as a leader?
Well, one of the leaders that I've always admired has been Winston Churchill. And he was a great speaker, and he could connect with his audience. He had wisdom, upright character, and persistence. It took him 40 years to become Prime Minister of the UK. And there's also a quote of his that I really like. He said, "I no longer listen to what people say. I watch what they do, because behavior never lies." And I think we always have to be professional in our thoughts and our words and our actions.
Excellent. Who else?
I'll go. Actually, it is a client of mine, and for the sake of his privacy, I will not say his name, but he is the former CEO of a major hospital here in Memphis. He is retired, but he has chosen to still serve the community. And that's what I find most inspiring, because, you know, a lot of people at retirement age, you're ready just to go enjoy life and enjoy your family and those types of things. But he serves on many local boards for charities. He works a lot with children, and he really tries to focus on the community and giving back. So areas that are distressed. And I met him because he was looking to purchase distressed properties in Memphis, and he decided to flip those properties. But he changed his, business pattern and decided to keep those properties and make those affordable for tenants to rent. And he rents those properties at a lower rate than he should actually receive. So he's helping the neighborhood. And I really just find that just so inspiring. He is really a gracious person and just a true leader, and just an example of what I think a leader should be for the community.
Excellent.
Well, for me, and I'm sorry, Brenda, I am going to call your name, but any of you who have had the opportunity to serve with Brenda Hampton on a committee, you know what I'm talking about. She is quiet, thoughtful, and I've never heard her raise her voice, but when she speaks, she doesn't need to, because you can hear a pin drop in the room, because what she says is going to be insightful and worth hearing. And I think if you spend any time with her, I don't know her really all that well personally, but I have been lucky enough to serve on committees with her. And every time I'm inspired to be more like her, more thoughtful, more listening, more than speaking. I'm getting there, not quite at her level yet, but that's that to me is our local leaders.
And
He's
I like
a legend.
to up on that with Scott. I believe I had a million names run through my head when I heard the question, and I'd like to keep it local as well. And Regina Hubbard is by far one of my favorite people in real estate. But I think as far as leadership skills are concerned, it's paramount. I believe she's the example. She's always showing compassion, no matter the situation. She always carries herself with such grace. I can really, really appreciate that. I don't know how much she knows, but I really do watch her footsteps, and some big shoes to fill, but I'm trying my best. So Regina Hubbard would be mine.
Well, I guess I could chime in. As y'all know, a lot of y'all may know, I lost my dad last year. My dad was, he went to college, but never graduated. He always stressed education to us as kids, and he was my inspiration for getting my master's and continuing on my education. And he worked, he was a blue collar worker and never made a lot of, I'm much noisier than him. He's a very quiet spoken person, but he was always led with a positive word. He always showed us how to give. He very generous at church. He'll be working in someone's yard, for free or doing whatever he can. And he inspired us to always give back. So he led us, he showed me and my brothers how to be a man without a lot of words, just looking at him. So he will always be my inspirational leader.
Awesome. Anyone else want to chime in on this question before we move on to the next?
Okay, next question. What is the most important thing you've learned from working as a part of a team? And let's start with you, Pablo.
Together we all achieve more. And I had a wonderful time. Tia wasn't there as well. We took the leadership, MAAR leadership. I highly recommend it. I don't know if it's still open to sign up, but highly recommend people do that. And with teams, many times if I were to ask you right now in this group of people, let's say we have 11 panelists, and I were to add all the experience, let's say on average we had 10 years experience, okay? Some of you have more, some of you have less, but let's say on average we have 10 years of experience. That's 110 years of experience that we have right now on this panel. But if I were to ask who has 110 years of experience, nobody will have that. And yet as a group, we have over 110 years of experience that we can rely on it. And we've seen everything from back when we used to stamp a contract with a little circle and a cross and put your initials on contracts, down to maybe some of you younger guys, the latest, most amazing technology that we can save time with. And all that experience can come together when you're a part of a team. And I think that experience alone is a great benefit that you can have, that you can rely on other ones. And I'll leave that open for others. But teamwork means that you can use the experience of others, and you can see more, and you can see other things that other people don't see.
Anyone else?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, Rodney. What Pablo said, I learned from working on a team that small individual tasks could yield big results. So many times we think that we have to have this big resume or, have all of these accolades to make an impact. And that's so not true. The small things compound to yield big results, and everybody working together in a collective effort could make massive change. And, that's the one thing that I learned from working on a team. You don't have to be this huge thing. You can do small things in a big way and make a big impact.
Nancy, I saw your hand.
Thank you. Yeah, and I agree with both Pablo and Tia. And I just add to that is sometimes we gain the knowledge and the experience and become stronger united is that, but we can help others on the team find strengths they didn't know they have, or develop and encourage and lift them up. And so often, whether we're talking about in a work environment, in a sports environment, people don't even know what they're capable of. And as a team, you're as strong as your weakest link. And I think we tend to strengthen those who need help in strengthening. And at the end of the day, we're all stronger. And that strength of the team certainly can help others in their development.
I would like to add also to what the other candidates have mentioned. I feel that working on a team, it helps you understand someone else's perspective. It helps you understand where their life is, where they've come from. And it helps you to be able to kind of take all those things from all the different people that are serving on that team to make a very successful team and to get the goal accomplished.
I would really like to add to this question also. The biggest takeaway that I've gained and understood from working from a team is that when you engage in a vision that's bigger than you or a goal that's bigger than you, then you get out of the way. Because so many times we get in our own way, whether with the small personal business goals, but engaging in something bigger than yourself, it's not about you. And so when everybody adapts that thinking, you can really achieve a whole lot more together.
Anybody else want to add on to that? Oh, okay, Amy, then
wanted,
Rodney. Okay, Rodney, then Amy, okay?
I'm sorry. I really just wanted to add to Pablo. He did mention Leadership MAAR, and applications are still being accepted. Just shameless plug for that. I am a recent graduate of Leadership MAAR for the class of 2020, along with one of the candidates, Sharon Brown. We were classmates in that class. And like Pablo said, it is a huge experience. So if you have the opportunity, you haven't signed up, there is still time. Please get the applications in. And the only thing I want to add to the question is each team member does bring their own unique value. And that's what I think a good leader recognizes, is that there are no weak links. There's just a different type of value that each member brings, and a good leader knows how to bring that out.
Amy.
You know, there's the saying that there's no I in team when you spell the word. And so that's what I think about, that each person has their own life experiences, their own strengths, their own knowledge base that they bring to a team. And we're very much like a football team. You know, you can't make a goal without defense and running backs and the quarterback. I will never be the running back, but I can be the defense. Is the way I look at it. So I think it's a collective effort, and teams tend to accomplish more in the long run.
Anybody else? Catherine?
All right, very good. And O'Hara put in the chat the link to Leadership MAAR applications for anyone who would like that. Okay, so what leadership skill do you think is the most important quality to have? Leah, you want to answer that one?
Hey, yeah, so to listen, I think is super important, but not only to listen as a leader and take in what others are saying, but also to be able to communicate clearly. Communication is key, especially in this day and age when we're having to do everything virtually. But as always, just to listen and communicate, and understand the perspectives. I think Sharon had mentioned that the perspectives of others too, and to take that into account and put your feelings and your views aside and take in what everyone else, what their thoughts and feelings are as well.
I would like to add to, I would like to respond to that question. I believe diplomacy. Diplomacy in a leadership role is so important because it helps you to be sensitive to the needs of what's going on around you, what's going on with the individual. I just think that if you're not able to listen and hear with sensitivity, then it doesn't make you as good of a leader.
For me, I think one of the key traits of a good leader is the ability to inspire other people. If somebody is inspired, they are more dedicated, they're more accountable, they're more productive. And if you've got the ability to ignite that in someone, then I think you're on the right track as a leader.
I see Bill and Ladora unmuted. Do each of y'all want to share?
Yes, thank you, Catherine. You know, there's so many traits that keep rattling through my mind, but I would say, of course, being innovative, because innovation is so important, even in changing times like we find ourselves in, and life and industry always changes. And so to be innovative and to be able to come up with good systems and to know how to pivot when you need to is crucial to leading and, you know, achieving the strategic goals. Innovation is crucial.
I was just going to add kind of what Scott said. I think accountability is a big factor. I think true leaders, you know, they take responsibility and ownership of their business, and I think that will inspire others because they'll see that trait in the leader, and they'll recognize that and do the same, I think.
And I want to chime in. Leah stole my thunder the first one as far as listening. However, I think a good leader needs to have an open mind. If you go in with your blinders on and you can only see one way, you may miss the whole boat. There may be a whole different perspective that someone else can add, or they may can show you a different route that may be much more beneficial if you listen to everyone, as well as don't stick to just this color right here or this particular procedure here, but look and have an open mind, because change is good and the way our industry moves. If we just stuck to that book where all the lists is in, we would never see the internet.
True.
Nancy, do you have something you want to say?
Yeah, I was to say, I agree with most everything that has been said. There's so many different personality traits and factors in a good leader. But one, I think, in addition to everything that we've discussed, is to bring people together, to unify, to recognize people's differences, help them bring out the best in people, and to unify them toward a common goal. And I think sometimes it's also to ask the questions that nobody else wants to ask, to deal with the uncomfortable, but in a unifying manner, to address it, bring it forward, and then in a positive manner, figure out how we're going to, you know, find a solution together as an association or whatever setting we may be in.
Excellent.
All right, so my next question is, what was the most valuable professional experience you've had? And who wants to kick us off? Scott.
When you are as old as I am, you've probably had hopefully lots of valuable experiences in your professional life. One that I would consider very valuable was my participation in the Leadership MAAR program. I know it's already been plugged, so I won't go into a lot of details, but really it was valuable in that it taught me a lot about understanding myself and others, and appreciating differences, and learning how to deal with people and understand that they're not, because they think differently, act differently, doesn't mean that they're wrong. And it really provided a lot of tools to navigate that, both professionally and personally. So I would consider that a very valuable experience. And as everybody else has said, if you haven't participated, done it, do it. That's
Pablo, you wanted to say something?
Yes, I will tell you my most humbling and I think professionally best thing I ever did was 24 years ago, I waited tables. And even to this day, if I cannot afford a $15 or $20 tip, I don't go out to eat. Because waiting tables, it's not about getting the food out, it's about customer service. And it really taught me that I could have been the greatest waiter bringing the food in the world, and you could starve, or you can be great with people and make good tips. And customer service has been, the word sales and customer service now are in the bottom of the barrel. People don't want to deal about that. But the old and true saying of the customer's right, and if you're in real estate, you're in the people business. And if you're waiting tables, you're in the people business. And I would say understanding and dealing with people was by far one of the best things I ever did in my professional career.
Anyone else want to add?
Yeah, I'd like to. Like Pablo, I never waited tables. However, I was a used car manager. I was in used cars for a long time. Very, very similar, believe it or not, in that it is still a people business. I think the most valuable professional experience I've actually had thus far is actually co-oping with other real estate agents. In the car business, this is unheard of. We do not work with other salespeople typically because we're in competition to get that sale from anybody else, right? So coming to real estate, it was really unique in that not only am I representing my client, but I also need to be able to navigate co-oping with other agents of all different personality types, right? And that's another thing that leadership MAAR and those skills will teach you, is to be able to deal with those personality types, from your client to your lender to your agents in your office, etc. So I think co-oping has been one of the most valuable professional experiences that I've had.
So the guys are taking this question. Any of my ladies got anything to say?
Sure. Early in my career, I was new to a position, and there was a new position that just opened up, and a lot of people I worked with were jockeying to try to get that new job. And I was so new, I wasn't even paying attention to it. I just went about my business, and I ended up being offered the job. And so I asked why. I said, like, I'm so flattered, but why are you offering it to me when these other folks have more experience? And this is what has stuck with me for 30 years. They said, because you ask questions if you don't know what something means or what you're being asked to do. We can trust that you're not going to act inappropriately. And if you don't understand something, you're going to go find out before you act. And that has stuck with me for 30 years is, asking questions or recognizing or acknowledging that you don't know something is not a weakness. And we all, need to do more of that. And I think we were talking about people's strengths and weaknesses earlier, and, you have a team, you have other people around you. And if you don't know something, somebody else in the room does. But it's just, it has proven so helpful to me in all my different career positions and over all these years, is just to know that asking questions is not a weakness, and that we all should ask rather than act. And I saw that even on the board of directors when I sat on the board, is sometimes there's dead silence in the room because nobody wants to ask the question. We're all going, do you know what that means? I don't know what that means. Do you know what that means? But to actually just ask the question. So.
Anybody else?
I'll take it.
Okay.
So back in March, I took a training class called Ninja, and I learned from that because we talked about personality types, and again, everyone coming from different walks of life, and how you can reach out to someone who is not like you at all. And one of the phrases that the instructor said over and over was, what you focus on expands. And that really stuck with me. And what happened on the last day of the training class, we had a break, and I decided to call my husband, and he was actually found out that his employer was downsizing. And so there were numerous people that had already lost their job that day. And he said, I could be next. And I told him, I said, you know what, if you are, that's okay. We'll be fine. And of course, 10 minutes later, he was let go. And I thought, oh my goodness, I put that thought out there and it expanded. But you know what? He's happier where he is now. And I think that I've really learned from that what you do focus on expands. And we also talked about in Ninja that you should serve others. And that's one of the reasons that I want to be on the board, because I do want to serve others. Because it's not just about what my needs are or what my clients' needs are. It's about what anyone I come in contact, how can I serve you and make a difference in your life or in your, profession? And so I found that to be a better experience than probably any other training I've taken over my career.
Anybody else? All right, Catherine.
Okay. Do you set personal goals for yourself? Ladora, you want to start us off on that one? I'm sorry, you're muted. That's my bad. Should have told you that.
Yes, definitely. I do set personal goals for myself. Don't mind sharing with you guys that I just learned to swim at age 51. I've always wanted to learn to swim. I guess I had taken a cruise a few years prior to that and thought I was going to go on a snorkeling excursion. But when I got there, they were like, "Can you swim?" And I was like, "No, but I can stand up and just snorkel." And they go, "No, you can't." And that just like devastated me. And I was thinking, I have to learn how to swim. And so, you know, a lot of times we are not privileged with learning to swim at an early age. And even at the age of 51, I just want to say that that was a goal for me to complete personally, that I would never go on another vacation and couldn't snorkel. So yes, I do set personal goals all the time with fitness, exercise, and just mindfulness and things that'll help us to be stronger for our clients and families. Yeah.
I think setting goals is very important, and it's something that every year, and as a company, we've always done it, and I've learned from others. And I think sometimes people get confused about what setting a goal is. It doesn't have to be huge. And it can be one isolated skill, like you were talking about, Ladora. But sometimes it's just, you know, what do you want to work smarter? Do you want to find better life balance? Are you just striving for higher sales volume, but then how do you get there? Do you have a plan? And then other times it's like this year for me, it's growth. It's growth in myself as a new broker or principal broker, and it's helping my agents grow. So also I think it doesn't have to always be about ourselves, but if we don't have some goal, some plan, we're just kind of spinning. And I think, you know, most of us do best when we have a goal and we're active and we have a target. So I think it is important. And the board always has a different goal every year. And it's something that we sit down and we study and we review, and we are charged with the task of staying on task and meeting the goals and the needs that have been set out for the association for that year. And so I think that's important as individuals and as an association.
Yeah, I just want to chime in a little bit. My father, again, he always set us down. And, you know, we had, you know, New Year's resolutions or whatever you want to call it. And he always said, you know, if you aim for nothing, you'll hit it every time. So that sort of helped me to establish, whether it be what I want to do next year. What, you know, now with doing real estate, you look at certain destinations and certain positions and various things that you may want to achieve. And you, yeah, with being a business owner now, yeah, you're looking at sales goals and various things and how many agents you want to bring on board this year. And hopefully, you know, you try to aim them up into doing a vision board with you or trying to set themselves some sales goals so they can meet those as well. So yes, it's very important to aim for something because, hey, if you don't have a goal to reach, you just never know how well you've done.
I'd like to chime in. I do set goals, but they're only about 40% of the task. You know, I train with a lot of athletes, and these people are ultra marathons. And I noticed that when they ran these 150-mile races, they fell into a depression. And my thing with that was, you know, how are these people who have accomplished such great tasks, why are they depressed at the end? It's because that they reached their goal and now they don't know where to go from there because they've reached their peak and now they're crashing. So goals are important. And I also learned from that it's also important to enjoy the journey and be able to repeat that repeatedly so that you don't crash out at the end and bottom out. So yes, I do set goals, but it's also about enjoying the steps that it takes to achieve those goals along the way.
Excellent. Sharon, did you have something?
Yes. I'm a firm believer in setting goals. I believe that if there's no goals, there's no direction. I also believe that you also have to think about how you're perceived. You want to think about how you're going to be remembered as well. So I think that goal setting is very important, but also it is equally as important to keep in mind that in the process, as you're setting those goals and you're trying to accomplish things, you're not stepping on people. You're thinking about how you're being perceived and what you're conveying, how it's coming across. So that's my take on that.
Oh, let me add one other thing, if you don't mind, with the goal settings on the personal note. Leaders are readers. So I have to always make sure that part of my morning routine with meditation is reading, because a lot of times we're so hooked to technology that we don't go and dive into a good book. We don't get that inspiration, that personal development that we need as leaders to be able to inspire others. And so I'm on myself all the time to read more.
Excellent.
We got time for one more or no? Okay.
No, yeah, we got time.
Okay, so next question. What do you think distinguishes a leader from a manager? And let's start with you, Bill.
I think a leader has to be somewhat of a visionary. They're the ones that kind of have to sit up at 10,000 feet and kind of look at the direction of the company, but they've also got to have the ability to set the path and make it a reality. And I think a good leader is also someone who's good at identifying the strong traits in others and helping them flourish, and also challenging them, putting them in challenging positions to help them grow. And where a manager would be more of a task-oriented, kind of a day-to-day type mentality. They don't have that, they're charged with a certain task and they're performing that task. May perform it very well, but I think that's kind of the main differences I see between a leader and a manager.
Okay. Anybody else?
I think being a leader is more about the ability to influence and inspire others, and being a manager is really more about power and control. You can be a manager and be a leader, so they're not mutually exclusive, but they're definitely not the same thing.
And I would say that leaders take risk and managers try to control risk. So yeah.
I agree. Leaders empower. Leaders empower. Leaders don't dictate. They influence. They have a mission in mind. They try and get buy-in by taking what the other people on the team are thinking. So that's my take again on that.
Okay.
Cassandra, when I think about a manager, I think they are, they typically control a situation. They're reacting to the circumstances around them, while a leader is actually inspiring others around them, and they take the initiative to make things happen. And when I think about the difference, I think about a former boss of mine. His name was Mr. Winkleman. And if I ever had a situation to where I didn't know what to do and I went to Mr. Winkleman for advice, he had the ability to, talk to you and to help you work through it, but he never actually said the words and never actually told you what to do. He helped you reach that conclusion on your own. So he was inspiring me. He was encouraging me in a very unique way. And I to this day, when I think about someone, again, who I'm inspired by, he's one that's on that list. And I think that's just the true distinction of a leader.
Anybody else?
I will say that for whatever reason, it seems like we have kind of gravitated towards putting leadership in a nice pedestal, and the lowly manager status has gotten bashed a little bit. But I will tell you that there is a great importance of having great managers. We have great managing people around us because we don't like new ideas. We like people that can get things done. You know, we need to have a new word, and the word is done, not doing or thinking about it. And great managers allow processes and procedures to be in place, effectiveness, efficiency. I love the book, The 7 Habits of Effective People. Most people think that book is The 7 Habits of Successful People. And no, it's not how to be successful. It's how to be effective by putting things first, by having the end in mind, by being singular to be understood. I am not a great manager, I can tell you that. But, you know, leadership and management are become more synonymous because now in our marketplace, we need people to get things done. And I think that our directors are going to have a great amount of leadership, but I sure hope they're a great amount of managers as well, because we have a lot of very important things that we need to deal with.
Anybody else?
All right. And I love that book too. My dad had me read 7 Habits of Highly Effective People when I was 16, and it still stuck with me. Yeah, he bribed me, but still. So last question. Do you have experience managing a budget aside from your personal finances? And this will be either yes or no, so it shouldn't be a very big question. So,
well,
Scott?
I'm on the committee and for the board, and also, you know, was the treasurer of the Education Foundation. So definitely those for sure.
And to answer that, yes, I was a hub operation manager for quite a while. We had a budget that we had to maintain, as well as now in my own company that we have to make sure we're spending dollars correctly as well. So I answered that.
Yeah, and as the past president of the Women's Council with NARAP, I did have to set a budget and oversee that, so yes.
Yes, I was a former salon owner of 10 years, and I also was assistant treasurer for the National Association of Real Estate Brokers in 2018.
Yes, my past careers, I was responsible for not only managing a budget, but also implementing a budget, and was very successful at that.
My first job out of college, I was responsible for a retail store's profit and loss statement and, of course, the accounts receivables. And just prior to entering real estate, I worked for a food service management company, so I was responsible for any special events and the securing vendors and, you know, payment of such.
As a member of the board in 2017 and 18, as directors, we are responsible for managing the budget for the association. And then earlier, like PTA, I know it sounds local, but president and treasurer and those folks are, I remember there was someone who said, we don't participate because we have not participated because in the past, we didn't think the money was going where it was supposed to go. So being very aware of people's money and managing it and what their expectations of how it should be spent.
Excellent.
Yes, for me as well. Just really quick, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. I want you to answer if you have it.
Yeah. So as a used car manager, managed a $3 million inventory, obviously with a budget of $1 million or so a month just to purchase new inventory. And then currently I am sitting as the secretary treasurer of the Education Foundation at MAAR. So I do have some experience there as well.
All right. Well, that wraps up our question section. We do have, I just want to take one question from our chat I saw pop up here. With the pandemic that is ongoing, where do you see the future of our real estate community?
Well,
go ahead.
I think it's going to be as strong as ever. Everything we're seeing, the inventory levels are so low, that's going to continue. The government's saying they're going to keep interest rates low. You know, I think barring a dramatic economic event nationwide, that our industry, at least on the residential side, I think the commercial side is going to be struggling if all these people who are, or all these companies who are deciding that their employees can work from home and they don't need the same space that they've always needed. that we may see a real shift in the commercial side. But if you read what the economists are saying, if you read any industry magazine, you know, all indicators are that real estate is going to stay strong at least into next year. And I think, as always, we're going to have to be in the forefront of adapting to whatever happens. You know, I think the industry, we've done a tremendous job. The association's done a tremendous job of educating everyone about COVID, about, you know, doing everything virtual, and just encouraging agents to take the time to learn, showing them new ways to execute their business, encouraging them, providing them the tools they needed. And I see the association continuing to do that no matter what we face. And I think real estate is going to continue to be a big part of the economy in how we recover from the pandemic.
Yes, I just want to piggyback on that. From everything that I'm tapping into and reading, as far as indicators go, yes, real estate is going to remain strong, even though we are in a recession. This is not 2007. It is a pandemic. So we are going to bounce back, it appears, from this recession, you know, pretty on track. It's not going to take a deep dive. But I would say that right now, we really have to be the knowledge brokers. We really have to allay some of the fears out there that homeowners and buyers have in the marketplace. And then by us giving the right information, directing people, that's going to help them make better decisions. But yeah, things will stay strong from everything that I'm reading. And I'm focused on that. As she says, what you focus on expands. There's still people in the marketplace that have plans to buy a home or sell a home. And so we just have to help them navigate through that.
Anyone else want to chime in on this one?
I look at it like working with, if you ever worked with a physical trainer, a trainer that actually is trying to help you gain muscle, they may isolate a muscle that you never use and it's weak. And right now, that's what we're doing. We sort of isolate it, and we're using tools and things that we don't know that's sort of weak, and they're actually getting stronger now. So we're becoming a more diverse board. I think our market's gonna be more diverse because now we're getting stronger. You know, a lot of us taking advantage of a lot of educational opportunities. We're taking advantage of a lot of things. I anticipate there may be some changes with the foreclosures and things maybe later on in the year, but I think we're going to be stronger as a board. I think we're going to be stronger as agents, and I think the market is just going to stay strong.
I think that us here and now is a prime example of, you know, what the industry is coming to. Two words that come to mind are pivot and shift. And I think that it's important that we learn to pivot and we counteract the fear that our clients and our coworkers are feeling with knowledge and education. And just keeping everybody, you know, informed about what's really going on and changing that narrative of what they think and counteracting that with the facts and the education and enlightening them as to what's going on in our market and where real estate is going. And it's important that we, you know, are the storytellers of that narrative.
On the very statistical and practical boots on the ground, you know, the government right now is buying by the billions every night mortgage-backed securities. The national 30-year loan average has been the lowest. Now, the word historic or never seen before, all that, I know that we, you know, because of COVID, that doesn't mean much. But we're looking at the national average for the first time ever in its history below 3%. I believe it's 2.9 something right now. And because of that, there is an amazing opportunity for home ownership right now. Imagine a $150,000 loan to be under $800 a month. And that creates an opportunity for people that $200-300 a month. It's a big immediate impact. And secondly, as just recently said by Robert Dietz, he is the chief economist with Freddie Mac, also has been, same thing said by our very own Lawrence Young, with the chief economist for our Association of National Realtors, is that there's a great demand for suburban homes. And when you look at the Mid-South, people can come from all over the country in our regular market, and they can get a beautiful house with a backyard and maybe only drive 10-15 minutes to work. That's unprecedented anywhere else in the country. Plus you have taxes, advantages of Tennessee not being a state income tax. And so I would say in the very, very near and the very practical matters for our association members that all the indicators are positive. Our challenge is to find affordable housing for the people that are looking for it after the pent-up demand of being at home for so many months.
Anyone else? Rodney?
Yeah, just really quick, I want to echo a little bit. Pablo, I'm a statistic guy myself, and Lawrence Yun also put, our chief economist with MAAR also put out that existing home sales are expected to ramp up to 5.6 million by Q4, which is really, really exciting news. I think that that's just an indicator that we are heading in an upward direction, which is very, very positive. And I think on a scale other than the market, just due to the pandemic, how I feel we're going to come out of this a little better. Also, Thomas alluded to it earlier. There are a lot of education opportunities right now. And I am a prime example. I've jumped up 3 designations in the last 3 months just because of, you know, the opportunity of the discounts and online learning and all these things, right? And just a reminder to our members who are watching, to the end of the year, MAAR Education Foundation has offered discounted prices for almost all the classes online. So take advantage. I know by December 31st, I think that's all going away, guys. So please, please take advantage. And I believe that if we get more realtors to take advantage, that puts out a much more competent group into the field. And I think that way we can better serve the public.
Good job. Anyone else before we wrap it up here? We're a little over time, so I want to be respectful of everyone's time as well, but I want to give everyone an opportunity to speak that wants to. Okay, well, thank you so much for your thought. And Pablo, are you waving or did you have something else to say? Okay, waving. So into all of the questions, and I'm just really impressed with all of you. A couple of reminders that I want to get plugged before we wrap it up here. Online voting opens Monday, August 17th and closes the night before the annual meeting, so 11:59 p.m. on Wednesday, September 9th. There is no in-person voting this year on laptop available at MAAR or at the annual meeting this year due to COVID, so it's all online voting. Also, this year we're extending our annual meeting into an entire week. It kicks off with the virtual Youth Villages 5K and 10 miler, followed by a couple of great webinars on September 8th and 9th. And then the annual meeting is Thursday, September 10th, as a live at the drive-in event at Shelby Farms. Gates will open at 9 a.m. The program will run from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. with lots of fun things planned. There are no bylaw changes this year, so please encourage your fellow realtors to attend. Also, this is recorded, so please share it with the agents in your office and spread the word as much as possible so that everyone else that wasn't able to attend today can get to know our candidates a little bit. Again, I apologize about the video at the beginning. Those videos will be available online so they can be shared regularly. But then again, it's always nice to hear in-person, impromptu information about yourself. So thank you everyone for being here, and best of luck to all of you. That's all I have. Was there anything else, Cassandra or Katie, that y'all need to add?
No, I just want to say thanks to everybody for putting yourself out there. This gave everybody, I was looking at the chat, everybody was excited about this as a way for them to get to know you. So this was great, and hopefully we will be able to keep this same format going forward.
Okay, with that, everyone, thank you so much, and thank you for being here, and don't forget to vote.
Bye.
Great job, everybody. Thank you.